How will you measure your life? This is a question posed by Harvard professor Clayton Christensen in an article that has since become fairly famous, where he asks the question, how will you measure your life? You see, Clayton Christensen is well known as a strategist, someone who helps businesses scale and multiply their effectiveness within their specific industry. He's used to applying all sorts of different metrics for how you'll measure success in a business setting and environment. Well, a few years ago, Clayton Christensen was diagnosed with cancer. And he says in this article that it caused him to pause and ask himself this fundamental question: how will I measure my life? We're used to using metrics for all sorts of things. We like to measure what the return on an investment will be. We like to measure how many days or weeks or months we believe it will take for us to accomplish something we set out to be. We like to measure our impact or effect, our performance, our overall team cohesion. You name it, there's probably something that we are measuring or some sort of metric that we are tying ourselves to. And yet, when we're measuring these things, we're really measuring temporal things. We're measuring things that matter maybe in this quarter, maybe in this year, maybe in my professional life. But I'd ask you, along with Clayton Christensen, how will you measure your life? How are you measuring the things that actually matter over the span of your entire lifetime? I'm with you. It's a daunting question, but it's a really important one. My name is JJ Morgan. I'm one of the team members here at 3x5 Leadership. Here at 3x5 Leadership, we believe that intentional leaders create significant impacts. And to that end, we're really passionate about helping you think through how to be an intentional leader. We do this through leader development, which involves how I first develop myself as a leader and then how I can develop other individuals as leaders. We also do this through leadership development, which really looks at how within the context of an organization do we create cultures, do we build in specific intentional ways to scale and grow this idea of leadership with an impact that is outsized relative to our own individual impact. Today, we're excited to launch with you our very first Big Idea Guide. That's B-I-G or BIG. What is a BIG, you might be asking? Well, a BIG is a place where we've consolidated some really fantastic resources to deep dive into one particular topic together with you. We'll bring these resources across a variety of platforms and mediums. Some of them will be videos, much like this one. Some might be in the form of our traditional articles or blog posts that you might have become used to. And some of them might be via our new podcast that we've just launched as well. The bottom line for you is the Big Idea Guides, or the BIGs, are a place where we can unpack and help your team understand as much as we possibly can about one specific topic that can help you grow your impact. Go back to, we believe that intentional leaders can have significant impacts. So what are we going to cover in today's BIG? Well, in this BIG, we're going to unpack and help you understand, number one, what is a goal? It's a concept we're all familiar with, but it's important to define our key terms. We're going to look at how we can approach goals in different ways so that we can actually follow through with those goals. If you think right now, just pause for a minute and think, what's a goal that you haven't accomplished? Maybe worse yet, what's a goal that you've abandoned in your life? I'm guilty of both of those things. And so we're going to unpack why is it that we sometimes abandon goals and how can we set goals that maybe we'll be better at follow through with. We're also going to look at understanding where strategy meets goal setting and how we do that both at a personal level and at a professional level, how we do that at an individual level, and how we can maybe scale that to an organizational level. And then, importantly, we're going to ask ourselves, how can we leverage goals in developing others? Because again, leadership is not a cul-de-sac. It's not something where everything just terminates with us. It is supposed to flow through us to improve the lives of others and to have an outsized impact. And so we're going to ask how goals can be used or leveraged in developing others. Again, we're going to do this across a series of videos, articles, and podcasts, giving you the chance to engage with us across multiple platforms. Our encouragement to you is just to dive in. There is no prerequisites for this. There are no conditions that we're placing around engaging in the big, and there is no beating around the bush. Our goal is to be candid. Our goal is to be transparent. Our goal is to be direct with you and with ourselves on the importance of goal setting and how goal setting contributes to self and others' development. So, what are some of the things that we're going to talk about? Well, I've kind of gone through that list, but specifically, I want to tease out just a little bit about why we chose goal setting. Why is it that goal setting is actually important to you and to me and to our teams and our organizations? Well, first, goals give us a vision for the future that we desire and aspire to. It's goals that help us have this clear picture of where it is that we're seeking to go and how we might get there. Second, goals serve to clarify in our lives. You see, goals bring clarity on the appropriate action to take in the moment, even and especially when we find that that action is either challenging, it's unpopular, or it might just be plain difficult. Have you ever been there before? Well, the beauty of goals is that they bring clarity to us when we're faced with those difficulties or challenges in making a decision in the moment for what the right action might be. The third reason that we want to talk about goals is because goals enable us to effectively reflect. And through reflection, we gain self-awareness. Through that self-awareness, we now start to build resilience and perseverance at both an individual level and an organizational level. And just like all of these things happen with goal setting across the individual level, we can also leverage these strengths of goal setting at the organizational level as well, and in our relationships with others. Whether those others be a spouse or a partner, a mentee, a child, a coworker, a client, you name it, goals can unpack and unlock our ability to engage effectively with others. So, in closing, I pose Clayton Christensen's question again to you. How will you measure your life? Let's start to answer that as we dive in together in our first big on goal setting.